Cool. So y'all are muted, so don't worry about that. And so if you have comments that you want to say, it's fun to host these calls because I can see your gorgeous faces, but it's not very fun if I don't get any feedback. And so feel free to comment below or in the chat if you have questions or comments like, I like that. Let me know, because the more you interact with these things, the more you're showing the host that whatever they're saying is helpful for you, and then you get more of that same kind of content, if that makes sense. And so the more interactive you are as well, the more you're going to benefit from a call such as this, okay? It's true, because when you're taking notes, it forces you to pay attention. So I hope you're planning on participating. And my first thing that I want to talk to you guys about tonight is that if you're going to show up, show all the way up for your life, for your goals, for your calls, for everything that you're doing. Wherever you are, be there 100%. And so I'm so excited that you're on the call tonight, but I've hosted calls before where I literally can see the team falling asleep. And I'm like, why are you even on the call? Like, you're not here, go away, because you're sucking the energy out of here. So if you're gonna be here, sit up, get good posture. Heck, next time put lipstick on. Oh, Kristen has her lipstick on, I like it. You don't have to, that is definitely not required. You can always wear your jammies, that's fine. But the way you dress, the way you act, the way you sit, the way you talk, the way your face looks, it all matters. And the reason I can tell you that from experience is I've ran this business for 5.5 years now. 5.5 years is a long time. And I've gone through different phases of the business where I wasn't feeling so well. I struggled with a lot of things, and I'm gonna get into that in just a minute. And it came across in my post, and I didn't think it was. Like, I was all type and happy, I thought, but it was coming across, or my pictures or whatever. And it's been funny because I didn't feel like I did a lot to shift, but I've received more messages than ever from people just telling me, you look so happy lately. You seem so happy. And how does happy and energy come across a computer screen if you can't talk to them? It's your posture, it's your facial expressions, it's the words you use, the words you choose to bold. And so if you're gonna show up for a call like this, show all the way up. Because if you want to have your life at a peak state, you need to put yourself in a peak state. And I don't wanna hear, I don't feel like it, None of us feel like it, guys. So if it's okay with you, do I have your permission to tell my story a little bit? Yeah? Okay, this is gonna be a repeat for a lot of you. I see some of my best friends in the business on the call, and you've stuck with me through thick and thin, and I appreciate you and I love you for it. Truly, the friends that we meet in this business are the best. So I got into this because 5.5 years now, it's been since I signed up. And when I started, it was because I had a transformation from an infomercial DVD that I bought on a credit card, and I charged it with 3 payments. Because we couldn't afford it. Like, we literally barely had $29.95 or whatever it was available on our card. And that was pushing it, right? And so, but I knew I needed it. And so I ordered that when Luke was a baby. Luke was brand new, Gabe was 1, Bella was 4. And I did that at home, and I lost weight. And I found my happy. And I felt good because I felt like I could be a mom and still take care of me. So I got up early at 5 a.m. to get my workouts knocked out because that's the only time of day I had it. And then I started inviting people over to work out at my house. No one told me to do that. I just did it because I wanted to, and I wanted to help people. And so I invited people over to my house to work out, and they were all having fun and whatever. And so I sold a bunch of Turbo Fire DVD sets off of Amazon. And somebody's like, you should be a coach. I'm like, what's that coach thing? Whatever. I had connected with a friend on Facebook, Teresa, who is my coach, and was following her for a long time. And she was posting sweaty selfies, and she was showing up and showing meal prep and how she was making it work with her busy schedule and stuff like that. And I just clicked with her and was like, I like what you're doing. I like what you're about. So when she said you can sign up for free as a military spouse, I did. So I signed up in August 2011. But I have this history that a lot of you don't know of being a quitter, a failure. Things get tough, I run. And I had quit everything, good jobs, bad jobs, relationships, you name it. I quit and I run. To the tune of I had quit and ran, literally moved 11 different times in 11 different states within a matter of, 7 years. Because I was so afraid of failure that I would rather just run from it. Can you guys connect with that? Here's the goal. I'm getting close. Turn around, detour. right? And so I got started with Beachbody, and I was like, oh, this is going to be another one of those things. I feel like my computer's weird. Another one of those things that I just quit and run from. But what was happening inside of me was that I just had enough. Like, I had already hit rock bottom in my life at one point. I was living in my car. I was bankrupt, lost a baby, lost my house, lost my job, lost everything I had, and was living in my car. So that was rock bottom. Like, nothing's worse than that, right? So then I get into the marriage, and I thankfully progress and get married. We have kids, and he had 2 kids. We had 3 at the very, very beginning of our relationship. And so we had them really fast, right? And so I was stay-at-home mom, kind of drowning in that whole thing. And we also moved 4 times, and we did a couple of deployments in there. So we were struggling pretty hard. I was struggling personally to find my voice. We were using our military income, and that was pretty good. But we were so broke with child support alimony that we'd write checks for diapers, and they would bounce. And that's just, we couldn't even afford that. So we literally lived on ramen noodles and free coffee that was given to us, long story, from the military for like 3 months. Rock bottom, not being able to buy diapers. I already had hit rock bottom twice in my life. So fast forward, now we're doing Beachbody, and I'm inviting people over to work out, and I decide to sign up because it's free. There's no risk involved, right? I could do something. I could take control. And I remember hopping on the phone with my coach, and there was no training then, none. And all she said was, help 3 people a month, and that will help you to pay for your Shakeology. Okay, I can do that. And then she said, what is your big scary goal? And I told her, I said, you know what, Teresa, I really just think it'd be awesome if I could make $500 extra a month, because that would help us to pay for a car payment. And she said, cool, let's do it. All you need to do is go talk to people and lead by example. That was my training. Yay! And I had a deep rooted why, and that was strong enough for me to figure it out. Have you guys ever been so broke that you were afraid that you wouldn't be able to buy groceries the next week? Anybody ever felt that way? No one? Y'all are rich. Okay, have you ever had your car break down and you had to come up with thousands of dollars overnight or hundreds of dollars overnight to fix it? Anyone? No? Y'all come from silver spoon families, get off the call. No, I'm kidding. No, this is good. I don't care where you are. I don't even care if you don't have a deep-rooted why yet. We're going to work on that right now. And anyway, here's what Tony Robbins says. There's niceties and there's necessities. A nicety is saying, I would love to quit smoking. A necessity is, I have lung cancer, and if I don't quit smoking right now, I will die. Right? I have to do it. And when it becomes a necessity, you find a way. So for example, let's go back to the car breaking down, or maybe your kid gets sick and you all of a sudden have to pay for all these medical bills. You find the money, right? If your car breaks down and you can't go to work and you can't take your kids to school and childcare and whatever, and yesterday there was no way that you'd ever be able to come up with $500 because you are that broke, but your car broke down, and so now all of a sudden you need this money, and it magically poof appears because you're smart and you find a way. That's a necessity. So when you approach your business, it doesn't have to be a financial goal, but when you look at it, it has to be a necessity in order to be successful in this business. For whatever it is for you, maybe it's because you need a purpose. Maybe it's because you need a network of people that you're helping, so you feel like you're making a difference. Maybe it's because you need the money. Maybe you need to quit your job. I don't know. It's totally up to you. So continue on in my story. You think that, oh, wow, Emma hit rock bottom a couple times, and now she just keeps on going to the top. No. So I started helping people with what I knew to do, and that was, I push play, I drink this shake, I'm getting results. And so I told people to do the same thing. And I opened a Facebook group. No one told me to. I just thought, okay, this sounds like a fun thing we should do. And we opened it, and we just talked about whatever in there. And I shared my own stuff. And what are you guys doing? And I saw this clipping in a magazine. And, oh, I saw this recipe over here. And we just started going, right? By within 5 months, I was a diamond. I didn't even know. I woke up as a diamond. Teresa was excited. I didn't know what I did. And I had made my goal to make $500 a month. And I never once actually paid for my Shakeology. Ever. Because it was a necessity for me that I absolutely had to make that money back, or it was taking from my kids. when you have that kind of necessity, you never pay for, like, you find a way. So from there, it kind of snowballed. I fell in love with helping people, and that was 2012 was the year that I just kept helping people in challenge groups, having a lot of fun. We were growing a team. We were having a good time, right? And I was showing up on Facebook consistently. I knew that if I did that, I wasn't a Facebook poster before, but all of a sudden I really liked what I did, and I was following Teresa and started doing that. And then 2013 was the year that I was like, I'm going to do this, and I have these babies at home and taken away from them. I'm going to figure out how to lead. And I did. And we started doing coach training things. We didn't have any training. And we posted these 5 things in our training groups. Number 1, what was your workout and shake of the day? Number 2, how many people did you add to your network? 3, how many people did you invite? 4, how many people did you follow up with? 5, what's a quote from your personal development book? And guess what? We went from being a Ruby team to a 5-star elite team that year, simply on those things. That was it. Okay? And then things fell apart. I moved from Hawaii. We moved from Hawaii to Monterey, and we were struggling personally. I was struggling with my husband, my ex-husband has an alcohol addiction and PTSD pretty bad. Because of that, I started to have symptoms of bipolar depression, which is actually common to be symptomatic when you're living with somebody that's kind of volatile like that. And I went into a deep depression and became pretty dependent on things myself. In the next year, business was kind of it was growing, it was getting stagnant. I was really questioning who I was as a person because I was under a lot of pressure and negativity at home. And in 2014, he ended up in the hospital and refused to get help for his alcohol addiction. So I took the kids and I moved to Idaho from California because we were no longer in a safe environment. And I left on a Saturday, and on that Monday morning, I spoke on the National Wake Up Call. And when Jeff Hill asked me, "Hey, Emma, so how has this helped to influence your family or change your family and make it better?" I lied. I didn't have anything good to say. And so I just made up stuff, and then I just kept going. And thankfully, Beachbody allowed me to pay for my family to be able to do that, to get us out of a harmful situation. So fast forward, that was August of 2014, right? Yeah. And then January 2015, after much therapy, whatever, we decided to come back together as a family. I moved back to California, and we start rebuilding our family. Will retires from the Marine Corps, so in May of that year we moved to Phoenix, and he becomes a stay-at-home dad, and everything just fell apart. I was dying inside. I felt like I was falling apart as a person, and I'm not sharing any of this to air my dirty laundry. I'm just sharing this. There's a point. And so we moved in May 2015, and now I'm a year later, we tried to buy a couple houses. They all fell through. Thank God they fell through. This summer, we went on a 2-month road trip because I was at the point where I was like, I need to find who I am. I'd gained 20 pounds as a Beachbody coach. When you gain 20 pounds, because it's your own fault, it's not very fun. And anyway, so we went on a road trip because I needed to find out who I was and what my purpose was in life, and it worked. By the end of the road trip, I knew that what I needed to do, and now we are divorced, and I don't think divorce is a good thing, so I don't want to put it in that light. But it was a necessity because it was being married was tearing our family apart. So why do I share all this stuff? You guys probably tuned me out a while ago. I share it because you see so many people posting about how I was in a tough spot, and then I became a coach, and everything was better. And that's bullcrap, because that doesn't happen a lot of times. Life's hard, and usually life goes in 6-month windows where hard comes every 6 months, cars break down, whatever. And I have so many layers to this story that I could share with you, but that's not the point. The point is that even when I was struggling personally, even when I was falling apart, even when there were times when I didn't want to wake up and get out of bed, even when I felt like that, I did. And I did those 5 things: work out, drink your shake, read personal development. Sometimes I'd skip sometimes, and then I'd listen to stuff, whatever. Add people, talk to people, follow up with people. That's it. And I kept going. Do any of you want to know what my income was the last few years? I'm sure you're wondering, right? Because you're like, well, what did I do? Did that help you at all? Anybody, you don't want to know? I don't want to share it as a braggy way, but I just want to show kind of what this does if you're consistent in the right behaviors. Okay. So, annual income? Yeah? All right, cool. So the first year was 2011. I signed up in August. I think I made like $5. No, I'm kidding. I made a couple $100s. I don't know. It doesn't matter. 2012, I think it was like, I want to say 11,000 is what I made. Not bad as a stay-at-home mom, just doing this kind of like less than an hour a day. $11,000 helps your family, yes. The next year, and I don't want you guys sharing this with other people. I'll let you know if you can. The next year I made like 47 grand. That's pretty good. And then it was 125,000. And then last year, 2015, it was $210,000. And this year is over $250,000. And this year could have been way higher, but the blessing that came from that was simply the fact that the business still paid me even though I was falling apart and I could only show up sometimes an hour a day. Do I recommend doing that? No, absolutely not. Thankfully, I had laid the groundwork for this to be successful. So why I am sharing any of this with you is just to let you know that I don't care what you're going through as far as like what you think you cannot do because of your circumstance. I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof that you can do hard things and you can do all things. And this business is something that will help you to get out of a tight situation, whether it's financially, personally. I don't know what I would have done had I not had the support of our friends and had I not found it in myself to grow personally, like personally develop myself to a point where I was standing up for my life, right? That was all of the stuff along the way that had helped me to get to that point. So, okay. So that is a little bit about my story. I'm pretty open about all of that stuff. And I'm pretty excited about the income jump we're going to have this year because I'm back, baby. And when I'm on fire, I'm on fire. So, okay. It's not about the income for me. That just is a thing, like a side counterpart. Like I didn't do this for the income. I did this for a long time without making a single penny. But the income came because I cared about people and the results. Okay? So, I have some questions for you. You ready? Get out your pen and paper. You're going to write stuff down. All right. So when you're going to do this, and the reason why I shared my long story is because I had a deep-rooted, unshakable why. Like I had to take control of my life. I had to have a purpose. I had to fight depression. And then things kept snowballing out of control in my life. And my going to work was my happy place. It was my place where I could take control of something. Right? What is your why? Like, have you really thought about it? And don't tell me it's a rank. Don't tell me it's, I want to make money and help people. Everybody does. But what is your real why? For me, it was like, I couldn't live my life knowing that my life didn't matter. Because my life, I felt like I really didn't matter. That I was a toss away. And I wanted to help people because I wanted to make a difference. But it was a little bit selfish because I felt good when I helped people. And I needed that. So it worked for me. And then I looked at my kids and I wanted them to be proud of me. And I didn't want to miss anything. And I haven't missed a thing. Okay. So the first thing is you have to create your vision. So it's funny because people look at, there's a myth of motivation. People look and they say, I'll do this when I feel like it, or I just can't get motivated. I need something to motivate me. People message me, I just can't get motivated, Emma. What? Motivation comes from action. Motion creates motivation. Write that down. Motion creates motivation. So you're not feeling motivated? Go do something. Get off your butt and go do something. And if you don't know what to do, if you're stuck in a rut, stuck in a depression funk, go do something nice for someone else. And that is the number one way to get moving. Go push play on your workout. Give it 10 minutes. Then you're going to want to finish it. Okay? And so, okay. And motivation also comes from having a lasting vision. So you remember I told you about hitting rock bottom, and I didn't tell that to you to waste your time. When you hit rock bottom a couple times and you're afraid of when you're gonna feed, like those moments of how are you gonna feed your kids, or you're living in your car, you don't ever wanna go back there again. I can promise you that. So you will motivate yourself to move. As long as you can move forward, you move forward. So what is it for you? So what is your lasting vision? It doesn't have to be that hard. You guys don't have to have hard knocks like me. So for you, what is your vision? When you die, or when you're old and, you know, sitting on the beach and your grandkids are talking about you, what are they gonna say? What stories are they gonna tell about you? She or he did blah, blah, blah. They left this blah, blah, blah for me. She made a difference, or he made a difference by, I learned from that person this. What's your vision? So here's a couple questions. Number one, if I could remove all barriers, what would you want life to look like in 5 years? What would it feel like, smell like? What would your life look like? Be very vivid. When I was a little girl, I was weird. I used to keep journals and journals of stories of what I would be when I grew up. Like I used to draw pictures of the houses I would design and how that would look, and my kids running around. I was very detailed about what I wanted. I remember wanting to be the first Olympic gymnast to have only trained for 3 weeks. Like just random stuff. I was a dreamer. What do you want? Be very detailed. I did this in Smart Success, and when I got really clear about what I wanted, it helped me to pinpoint what I needed to fix. And it also takes pressure off you, because then you're like, you know what? All this other noise over here, this crap that I think I should do, I don't have to do that because it doesn't honor my priorities. It doesn't fit into my life, my vision. 5 years from now, what do you want to know? Number two, what are a few things that you have always wanted and thought, I don't need those things, it's too extravagant. You guys want to know what I've always wanted? Awesome, thanks. To travel. I want to see everything. I want to immerse myself in culture everywhere. And now that's what I'm doing. We just got back from Costa Rica. We went to Sedona. We went to Idaho, and that was just in December. And I'm going to Houston next week. And then I just bought my tickets for Australia last night. I'm going to Australia in February. And then I'm going to, where else are we going? Europe in May, Dominican Republic in April. And I'm telling you this to brag? No, you can have it too. What do you want? But I also wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And the cool thing is, I am. Every other week, I stay-at-home mom. They go to their dads on the off weeks. So I get both. Okay, what do you want? What would be crazy cool for you? And so for some people, they're like, I just really want to have $100,000 in savings. That's all I want. I just want some money. And that is awesome. Do it. Number three, what would it feel like to wake up every day with the things you described in number one and number two? How would that feel to you? Would you stand taller because you're not so freaking stressed? Would you have a nice tan from Bora Bora? I would. I'm gonna someday. Bora Bora's on my list. Okay, P.S. No one really knows exactly how to get these things. You just have to go and then figure out on the way down, or figure everything else out as you go. And a cool thing is, anything that's ever been done, like anything on your list, I promise you someone's done it. So Google it. Google it. You want to be an amazing speaker on stage? Google how. And then start with one thing that you can do today to practice. Right? You want to become an awesome killer recruiter that makes an impact on people and they're creating smashing businesses that are setting their souls on fire? Google, like, best business mentors out there. Google it. And then you can figure it out, right? And that gives you a step of where to go. Okay, so instead of saying like, if you think, this could never happen to me, I am blah, 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 and you're letting those past voices inside your head kind of interfere with where you're wanting to go. There are those barriers that get in the way. Smash them down by saying the counterpart. Why not me? Like for me, I was a quitter. And so I know what quitting feels like, and I'm not going to do that again. So throw it in the reverse direction. And then here, I want you to write this one down. And I think this is one of the most important things that you can think about tonight. What do I need to leave behind in 2017? What happened in 2016 that you are going to leave behind? And one of the big ones of mine, and this might resonate with some of you, is pain from disappointing relationships. I'm leaving behind that pain. I'm no longer allowing that hurt to be in my heart. It wasn't me. That's them. I'm giving it back. Other things, guilt for letting my team down, guilt for not being more present with my kids because I was struggling to find myself. Or maybe there's things you need to resolve. Maybe there's a relationship that's coming to mind that you need to go get resolution with. And it can start with a simple phone call or a note. And they might not respond back, but at least you tried, right? What are you going to leave behind? Write it down, be very detailed, and then go literally light it on fire. Not even kidding. Okay. Jen, you said something. I'm totally different. I want to live in a place that I love so much that I don't have to go. Yeah. See, there you go. And I grew up and I was always like, I want to go everywhere. So maybe I'm going to get it out of my system in the next 2 years and then never want to leave my house. All right. So those are the things that can help you to form what your vision is. And that's just small. If you're going to be on the vision board making call, I highly recommend with Andrea on Thursday. That's going to go into way more detail and then you'll map out your goals. So I'm not going to do that tonight. Number 2, or part 2, your life mission. So if a vision is what we want, a mission is the rules that we're going to play by. So remember, you can have anything that you want in life. You just have to help enough people to help them get what they want in order for you to get what you want. So you never want to feel like you never want someone to feel like you are just pushing them so that you can get what you want. Instead, find out what it is they want and then help them to achieve it. And that's so important. It's not about us hitting Success Club. It's about how can I connect you to your goals, right? So in order to create your life mission statement, here's what you got to do. You ready? More bullet points. Number 1, when you look at the world, what gives you pain and makes you want to fight for change? When you look at the world, what gives you pain and makes you want to fight for change? Number 2, what have you experienced or overcome in your life that you would want to pass on to the world around you? What do you want to pass on? Number 3, if you could sum up the difference that you want to make in the world with 3 power words, what would those be? If you could sum up the difference that you want to make in the world with 3 power words, what would those be? Number 4, how do those come together and paint your picture? And can you put this into 1 sentence? That is your mission statement. Be very clear about what it is you're trying to do. And don't say, I want to help people. That's not clear enough. Why? What do you want to help them do? What are they going to feel like when you help them? How many people? And by when? Be very clear. What type of people? Okay, and then you put your mission statement everywhere you can in your house, in your car, on your phone. And so you see it and you think about it and it becomes so clear that people start to associate that with you, like without you having to tell them. Cool. As I went through those, did any of those questions kind of ping you a little? Did you get pinged? How many of you are committing that you are going to go through these and actually answer them in depth within the next 24 hours? Type your commitment below. I commit. Because it won't do you any good to be on the call and then not do the work, right? Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to go through something really quick in the online office. It's going to help you to do this because I think you have a lot of homework, right? And you got to think about these things. And this is a perfect segue, and that's what I wanted, is a perfect segue into the Thursday night call with Andrea. Andrea Crowder's not on our team. She just opened this up to the network. She's one of my friends here in Arizona and a phenomenal leader. She comes from Hard Knocks, and she's built this baby from the ground up. So she has some really good things to share. I hope you're going to be on. So I'm going to screen share real quick some tools, because one of the fears that you might be holding you back, that wall, is I don't know if I can grow a team because I don't think I'm a good leader. Does anyone feel that way? Yep. Only Erica. She's the only one. She's the only brave leader soul that actually stepped up. Good job, Erica. Proud of you. That's what leadership is when when everyone's too afraid to say it, you say it, right? You showed leadership right there. Okay, so here's what John Maxwell says about leadership. You ready? A leader knows the way, shows the way, or excuse me, a leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Do you know how to push play on a workout program? Yes. Do you know how to make a shake and drink it? Do you know how to talk to people? Yes, you do. You have friends. Nod your head. Yes. Do you know how to make a Facebook post? Yes. So your job isn't to be perfect. Your job is to simply show what you've learned. And all of the other tools out there are available at your fingertips. If I was to Google invitation process or body scripts right now, I would probably get like 50 of them. You do? Okay. I hear baby. I think that's you, Elizabeth. I can't mute you. There you go. Got it. Okay. So if anything that you need to know, you Google. And I promise you, everything I've ever learned, I've Googled or I've stolen. And that's just how it goes. We all are in the business of sharing. So if you learn it, share it. That's all you do. I learned this. It might help you too. And that's how you lead a team. Ha ha. So here's some other tools though, because I like to have some systems, because if I have systems, then at least I know what I'm inviting people to. It's very important to invite people to them. Do you guys map out your month? You do? Okay. If you've never done this before, here's a little tip of the basic map out your month thing. You need to schedule your challenge group for one of the weeks. I like to do it the Monday that falls closest to the 15th. And here's why. The first week of the month, I'm recruiting like crazy to my challenge groups. So I'm showing proof of transformation photos, proof of my own transformation and whatever. And then I'm doing call to actions 2 to 3 times a week on my Facebook page that says a challenge group starting at this date. And then I did a Google Doc and it's working, and I could share that with the team, to get people's goals. And it's really filtering out who's serious and who's not. So that's the first week of the month. You're posting, sharing about transformation and inviting people to join your challenge group. The second week of the month is when you are wrapping those conversations up, and then you're going to start that next Monday, right? Then always host a free group the last week of the month, because those free group people will rotate into your first week conversations and invitations, right? And your free groups don't have to be mine. Do what is interesting to you. If it's food, if it's motivation stuff, if it's workout tips, whatever, you get to decide, right? And then on your calendar, find two times, a minimum of 2 times that you're going to do a recruiting opportunity, either with an upline like me or anybody else on here, or a 3-day group, whatever you want to do. But put it on your calendar 2 times that you're going to do that, and then commit that you're going to start a Coach Basics group the first week of the month, right? And you start it because there are already people that you brought onto your team. You're talking about joining your team on week 3 and 4-ish, and then you bring them onto your team. So we can talk a little bit more about that as we're going to map out our goals. But that is the basic calendar. Then every single day of the week, you're going to do 3 to 5 Facebook or social media posts of some kind, sharing your brand. Who knows what a brand is? Somebody unmute and tell me.
I will.
Okay, thanks.
A brand is characteristics about yourself, your authentic self, that attract other people who you want to attract. So, for example, a big part of my brand is being a mom of teenagers and a mom of a college student. And so when I make my posts, I talk to those people and about things that are happening and going on in their lives.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. Here's how I came up with my brand. You make a list of every single thing that you are. You into horses, shoes, mom, cancer survivor, avocado obsession, whatever. Like, just make your list. And then you go through and you cross out anything that is like what all the other Beachbody coaches have. Like to work out, cross it off. Drink Shakeout every day, cross it off. So those are the things that will make you common, right? You want to figure out what makes you different. And then on whatever's remaining, choose out of that the top 4 things that you want to be known for. So mine is like motherhood, faith, travel, and I can't remember the last one. I keep changing it because my life keeps changing. It was military life. But I don't know. Right now it's travel. And that's everything. And so I guess dating my high school sweetheart, people are really interested in that. So those are my 4 things that I'm known for right now. And then my last one, my 5th thing is Beachbody. It's health and fitness, right? So those are your 5 things that you're going to post about on a regular basis. Of course, you can filter in other things as well, but that's what your brand is, and that's what people are going to come to you to look for. Momisms, workout tips, if you're into shoes, the cutest shoes you've been using lately. So that gives you content for what you're going to post every day. So post every day on Facebook 3 to 5 times a day, and you want to engage and not just talk at people, but you want to talk to people and tell your story. You share a picture. Why did you share it? What's interesting about it? There is a brand specialist if you struggle with like, what is my brand? How do I want that to look? And Jen, do you remember we did this in the Diamond group, and it was a website that we put out there. Shoot, what's her name? Do you remember? Christy? Do you guys remember who it is? It's like Girl Boss Branding or something like that. Anyway, I'll find you the link.
Coach Glitter. Was it Coach Glitter?
It wasn't Coach Glitter, but Coach Glitter uses this girl. But her job is to help you figure out your brand. It's kind of like a life coach, and then they help you to figure out fonts to use and tag words to use and things, so you're attracting people that are your people. So
I bet if you Google branding for Beachbody coaches, she'll come up.
Will you do that for me real quick? Or I can keep looking through this thing. Dang. Okay, I won't. I'll stop. It's going to come to me right when we get off the call. So that could help you. So don't be afraid. Like if you're sitting there going, you know what, I don't really know how to make a good video, or I don't know how to post on Facebook, or I don't know how to do whatever. All of the questions you have, somebody's answered, and there's a professional out there that can help you. So go invest in yourself and learn. Google, spend some time Googling, go on YouTube videos and find that. Invest money into getting good pictures, invest money into branding, and that'll help you. Okay. So where was I going with that? I went off on a tangent with the branding. I don't know. Oh, I was going to show you stuff in the back office. Then I got distracted. Okay, so we know to do our vital behaviors every single day, but if we use these tools that I'm going to show you in the Coach Online Office, you're going to feel more confident as a leader. Okay, so under news and training, you're going to go into training, right?
Is it Katie Heifner, Girl Boss Dynasty?
No. That's a coach. But close, I'm sure. Okay. So in the Coach Online Office, the nice thing is that they've made it super easy for you, so you don't have to know everything. You literally don't have to put your logo on anything or create content because they've done it all for you. So as a leader, which you are, if you are a coach that's on this call, you're a leader. The day you signed up to be a coach, you are a leader. And if you have any questions, of course, connect with your upline and they'll help you. But go under 2 to 4 star diamond. This is our training section, right? Go under Learn How. And in the Learn How is the leadership roadmap. And there's a video on how to use this. But this is what I used that helped me to grow my business. It's so simple, and I love simple because if it's simple, then you can do it and you can duplicate it. Yes? My challenge to you is to do this with every one of your active coaches this week and have them send it to you. And this is a worksheet you're going to do monthly. So you take your goals that you're going to figure out and put on your vision board, and a lot of you are going to have income goals, right? Yeah? You're going to have rank goals for the year as well. And you're going to put what you're currently at right here, and then your end of the year goal. Your current monthly income, your end of the year goal. How many diamonds that you have, and your end of the year goal. Okay? For every personally sponsored active diamond you are, that's when you get a star. And you have to hold it for 6 weeks without them dropping to be considered a lifetime star, like a lifetime 1 star. Otherwise, you're just considered in qualification. Then Premier and Elite and Top 10. Then I say, this is the part every single month when you print this off and you open it up, you are going to put your mission statement and your why. And if your why changes over time, that's okay. Don't look at the previous month's why and mission statement. Every month, do this before you look back. So that way you can make sure it's fresh and you're not like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to do that. So what that does, so let's say your income goal is $2,000 a month, right? I'll just type this out. And right now you're making $500 a month. Okay, so by breaking down, this is kind of big. Can you guys see this? Here, I'll do this. I'll go full screen. Full screen, baby. This is going to be fast, I promise, so pay attention. It's important to track your business because you're a business owner. You are the CEO. And if you were to open a retail store, and I did this analogy earlier. It's a repeat. Okay, if you were to open a retail store in the mall and you're like, this is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I have these goals. I have my vision. I have my mission. In 5 years, my life is going to look like this. But then you open your store in your mall and you bring people on your team and they show up for work and you're like, hey, it's so good to have you here. It's going to be really fun. But you don't have systems of how to help them get started, or you don't have specific action items for them to do every day. Your store is going to fail. You can't just open your doors. You have to have things for them to do, right? So this helps you to know exactly what those things are for you and then also your team. So let's say your monthly income goal is $2,000 a month. So we put that number right here in 2,000, right? And then what you're going to do is break it down by month. So 2,000, I'm going to use my calculator. So you're already earning 2,000 minus 500 equals, and then you divide it by the remaining months in the year. So 11, divide it by 11. So 1,500 divided by 11. So that means you need to increase every single month $136. So let's say $135 over last month, right? So your income goal for February would be $635. Your income goal for March would be $635 plus $135 equals $770. Your income goal for this would be this. So you can keep going that way. And how you would achieve that is every month, if you can break this down by, okay, so $135 is in commission isn't that much, right? How many challenge packs is that? Do you guys know? Right now, if you do 2 all access ones, it's $70 in commission, so it's just 2. So you really only need to have 6 Success Club points to hit it, right? To have that bump. So we can do, 6. 6 Success Club points from the all access packs will get you there. And you can, I always just host 1 challenge group a month. You're welcome to host more than that. So that's how many challenge groups or challenge packs? Just 2. No, sorry. And then challenge packs sold outside of challenge groups. Sometimes people buy a challenge pack and they don't want to be in your group. That's totally fine. Have a Facebook group open that never closes that you can always add them to. So, and then how many people are you going to convert to coach? So this will help you to break it down. So if you do just 6 Success Club points every month, then that will help you to get that 135, right? But you don't want to do that, the minimum, because people fall off and they quit. They cancel their Shakeology, they go away, they go AWOL. You might have a return here and there. It just happens. It's business and things happen, right? And so I would say no matter what, if you want to be a builder in this business, your goal should be a minimum of Success Club 10 every single month. And your goal for recruiting coaches every month should be a minimum of 2. 2 people signing up on your team. That is going to build a very slow but steady business over time. And if you do that, if you're adding 2 people to your team a month, and let's just say 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, how many coaches is that? 24. 24 more coaches than what you have now, right? And these are people that you're helping to join your team that get great results in the challenge, okay? Now, if you look, who knows where, do you want me to show you where strong leg, weak leg volume is? Or you guys know where that is? Mm-hmm. Can you repeat how you do the end of the year goal? What divided by? Okay, so really quick, you take the goal, subtract where you are, divided by the remaining months, and that's how you figure out your monthly goal. And if it's hard to do that equation, then just message your upline and they'll do it for you, or I could do it for you. I like math; it's fun. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm moving things around. Now, so then your strong leg and weak leg volume, this is what I really like to track on mine for a while, because it was fun for me to see that growing. So even months where I'm like, I feel like I'm not having a lot of growth, I would look at my volume and I could see volume growth and see month after month, how is my volume growing? And this is just one of my CBCs, right? And so then you can put those numbers in, and you want to see that grow by at least 10% every single month. So then first business center is the business center you all have. When you get to the level of 2-star, that's 2 active diamonds, 1 on each leg, then you get to open your second business center, which is like you have an awesome Starbucks and they're kicking butt. And so they're like, hey, you're so good at Starbucks, we're going to let you have another one. And then it counts as you, like it's you getting all the income and all the Success Club points and everything, it all rolls up. But it's you that can also count as a diamond. So then that's really how you start to make money. So everybody's goal should be 2-star as fast as you can, because you can control those businesses. Then 3-star, same thing. Like I have 3 business centers because I was able to franchise myself enough times. Okay. So then you put your leaders. And if you don't have leaders on your team that are growing a business, I want you to put a date of when they're going to grow their business by. And you put their current rank. So it might be coach. And let's say their goal is to be emerald by next month. Everybody should be an emerald if they're an active coach, no matter what. They can happen overnight, like 2 days. Because they can sign up their spouse or their bestie or their mom or whoever. Everybody needs to be emerald. And then you can have, talk to them about when they want to go diamond. And diamond is when you have 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and 1 out of those 4 is emerald. Diamond's not hard. Make a goal, if you're serious about the business, diamond in 60 days. Right? It's not hard. But if your goal is not, if you're going to add the 2 people a month, then you look up here and you say, okay, my goal for my business is to become a diamond. But I just talked to Jen, and her goal, Jen, I'm moving you around. Her goal isn't to be an emerald until there. And then I talked to, I'm going to pick up Christy. And Christy's goal is to be an emerald here, and diamond, she doesn't know what that is. It doesn't care. Okay, so so if you look at your goals, if you're signing 2 coaches a month to the earliest you could be a diamond is here, right? And then these 2, oh, let's say Christy's like, oops, I didn't hit emerald. Why was I doing that? Actually, Emma, I don't really care. My dog died. I'm not going to work the business. I will talk to you in 4 months. Okay, so her goal is emerald there, right? So if you'll need these coaches that are your personally sponsored coaches here, but you can't move to diamond unless your coaches are advancing. So actually your goal to hit diamond by that date doesn't work. You'd have to actually move it to here, because you need to talk with your coaches and assess their goals first. But what you can control is say that you're like, I don't want to be diamond there. I want to be a diamond here. Their goals is not to hit it until like way later. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to recruit new leader by 1:15. New leader by, and then you do that. And they're going to sign up, and I'm going to help them get to emerald, because emerald's easy and they want the bonuses. And new leader, so I'm going to recruit 3 of them, and 2 out of 3 I'm going to help them to get to emerald by talking to them and letting them know the options of getting to emerald. So now, there, There. Now you have options because you actually signed 3 coaches up that month, and they're all going to Emerald. So now you're waiting on you to recruit more coaches so you can adjust this here. So that's how your leadership roadmap works, is that you talk to your coaches and get their goals, and then that in turn affects your goals up here, right? And then filling it in as you go with your goals is going to be critical too. So here's what I do. And then there's stuff down here you can fill in. Here's what I do. Every time it's a new month, I print it off. So let's say it's January fresh start, so it doesn't count. But let's say we're in April. So in April, I'd print off a new one, and I would fill these in with the actual totals of January, February, March, where I was in my business centers, and then my leaders that I'm working with and what they did, right? Then I would reassess my goals and adjust them according to my year-end goals. I don't change, but I change my strategy if I need to. So starting in April, I will do new goals for the rest of the year if needed. So maybe you're kicking butt and you can kind of adjust that way. Maybe you want to increase your goals for the end of the year. Yay! Or maybe you had a really weird start to the year and you're like, I don't know. Then you know you need to do more activity as you get in these months, right? And that's all it is. Okay, clear as mud? Awesome. So that's the leadership roadmap. Just commit that you're going to go through your leadership roadmap with your coach, and they'll help you. So now you take the leadership roadmap, and that's your monthly goals, and then you break it down by weekly goals. And this is your daily tracker. And we still use the business activity tracker, and we're doing Bat for the Hat is back. The first 12 months, or the first 12 weeks, if you do Bat for the Hat and you email it to me, you can email it at any of my emails. getfitwithemma@hotmail.com is fine. Or you can do my bemma20@gmail, either way. Send me your Back for the Hat. I'll track it. When you hit 12 of these suckers, you get a hat, and maybe I'll redo some hats so we'll have new ones. Yeah, I'll think about that. For those that already have it, if you already did Bat for the Hat and you want to do it again, then we can think of something else at that time if you want something other than hat. But this is your checklist. That's it. This is your vital behaviors in a printable form. And Jen started this. Where's mine? I don't know where my binder is at this point. But Jen started this last year. She had massive business growth and momentum over last year simply by doing this. And she took it on herself. Nobody told her to do it. She printed off 52, took it into Kinko's. They bound it up for her. And now she can track absolutely everything she's doing in her business. And so commit today that you're going to print off 51, since we already are down a week, 51 of these babies, and use this to track your business. Now, if you're like, whoa, this is just way too much, then simply write down that you will do these activities. Work out and drink my shake. Read personal development. Post 3 to 5 times. Add 3 people. Invite 3 people. Follow up with 3 people. Because that's essentially all this is, with a lot more wording, right? So I love this though, because also at the top here, I pay attention to this. Like, when are your goals? Put your goals in writing every single week. Set your intentions every single week. Write down a motivational quote at the top if you want to. Write people's names in and color code it. I like it color coded because it's easier for me to go back through and say, okay, all the green people wanted to know about the business. All the purple people were Shakeology. The blue people were clients, like potential challengers or whatever. And this will help you guys. So those are my tools for success. I know you were expecting something miraculous, and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't believe in making things hard. I believe in doing something that you in turn can then teach your coach, who can then teach their downline, who can then teach their downline and their downline, because that's how you build stability in this business, right? I have one more thing I'm going to show you. And all of this stuff that I'm showing you, you can honestly tell me, I don't want to do any of this stuff, but then I'm going to say, that's totally fine. Show me your system. I want to see if it's better. And if it's not, then you're going to do mine. Or the next conversation that we'll have will be, you're not doing what you're supposed to, so you're not going to get where you want to, right? Okay, so I want to show you this really quick. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. This is how I'm doing my vision board this year, or my tracking board for my whiteboard. And I got it from another coach, Leslie Davis. See, once you get into the Star Diamond level, you get to work with all the Star Diamond coaches, and they share their amazing ideas. And that's where you want to be, guys, by the end of the year. So simplify in 2017. Essentially, your job or your goal will be to build yourself a diamond, 2 diamond if you're not there yet, or if you are there, another diamond in quarter 1. You're going to do it again in quarter 2. You're going to do it again in quarter 3 and in quarter 4. And what that means is that you're going to add 4 coaches on each side and then have an emerald on each side in quarter 1. Then you're going to do it again. So in quarter 2, you'll have a minimum of 16 coaches on each side, total 8 and 8, and then a minimum of 2 active emeralds on each side. And then you're going to do it again, and that's going to build stability for you, right? And then over here, Success Club, just keeping track of your Success Club points and what your goals are and what you're actually hitting. Over here are your emeralds that are active and they're actively working. Over here are your rising stars, so people pushing to diamond and star diamond. And then over here is going to be retention. And this is the big one I'm paying attention to, is I'm writing down every single one of my clients. And then when they convert to coach, I'm going to put a star by their name and move them up to the coaches, the top section up here, right? And when they go inactive or they cancel their Shakeology, then I'll turn their name red. Because I want to see how many people I'm actually helping long term, right? And there's going to be an ongoing group for all of these people, so I know and I don't let anybody fall by the wayside. But if you keep track of that, then you will be able to grow a successful business, I promise. So, all right, that was a lot of stuff. Did that overwhelm you? No. Do you all feel like you can do this business? Yes. Okay. So you have some action items tonight to do the questions that I asked earlier, and to print off some business activity trackers and leadership roadmaps. And if you give yourself a short window to do it, like tomorrow, then you'll get it done. If you say, I'm going to do this week sometime, and it's not going to happen. And next week you're going to be in the same spot. But you will be motivated by your motion. We talked about that earlier. And this is the type of motion and you want to take as you're building your business. And then, do you believe that you could teach this to your downline? Absolutely. Nod your head yes. And if there's anything above and beyond that, we have Coach Basics in the Coach Online Office. Take them through that in whatever format you want, either through the app, you do a daily post in there, or on a Facebook group and just post the daily post and have them check in with their vital behaviors daily. And that's how we've grown, guys. So I love simple organization. The rest of it like makes my head spin. So when we keep it simple, then everybody gets to succeed. Yes? Okay. So I'm going to stop